Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA 195. Today I want to talk about investing in your child and children and including your lives, right? Investing in yourself. And I've talked about this before, and I'm going to get into this. Knowledge, training, and experience, not and or. So a lot of the research that I've been following, and I've continuously learning. But I've also learned to who to listen to and who not to listen to. And the knowledge that I've attained and retained and continuously growing from comes from those that speak from knowledge, training, and experience, not and or experience. You either have it or you don't. So those are the medical professionals, people in the field, people that walk the path of life. Those are the people that I follow. And the other thing that I do not follow, diets don't work. Like, I'm going to get into this. Diets are temporary. Temporary measures, for example, medical, competition, those that do the training, religious and so forth. That's what this is. I'm living proof of such. I'm living proof that diet don't work because I've done so many diets. So many diets in my lifetime. Even when I was running marathons at 222 pounds. Even when I was teaching hand-to-hand combat at 235 pounds, traveling around the province here. Ended up still at 330 and 350 pounds. I still ended up there and I was still training all the time. How did that happen? I know a lot more today than what I did in the yesterdays. I figured it out. I've never done this in my lifetime. I've been over a year and a half now, and every single day I haven't skipped a beat. Why? Because the way I did it, the way I started, the way I lived my lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet, okay? It's a lifestyle. So I figured it out. When I said I've never done this before, I have never, ever followed something naturally without paying anyone, doing anything. I figured it out. And there's some really good people out there that you should pay to listen to, understand to. But I figured it out, and I know people tell me you're disciplined. I think it's the way I did it that made me disciplined. I am disciplined, but the way I did it, the way I'm doing it, and the way I've maintained it, and the way I've lived it, it is so easy for me. And I say that to people, it truly ain't hard. Why? Because I figured it out. The other one is I was deconstructing myself from the inside out. Remember 222 running marathon, 235 hand-to-hand combat, 330, 350, still training? All in those days, especially when I was 222, like ripped abs and like naturally like fit, right? I was deconstructing myself internally because I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't in a nutrient dense world. I was in an insulin body that entire time. That entire time, I was in an insulin body. I was deconstructing myself from the inside out. Hence why I ended up at 330, 350. That's why, right? Now I'm renovating myself from the inside out. That's what I'm telling people. I'm working on myself internally. Hence why I lost 110 pounds. Because, and I want to make a declaration here. I'm going to get into the medical side of this and what I understand from all this knowledge, training, experience, right? I want to point some things out here. First and foremost, I'm a meat lover, okay? This is a study, and this study has a lot of data that I'm going to bring out to a public communicator here. But I want to point out that I'm a meat lover, okay? I'm a clean sea, land, sky food lover. I eat everything, as long as it's clean, as long as it's okay, not everything. On this planet, I don't eat everything when you compare it to this planet. But I do. In our standards and the I'm going to say Health Canada standard, what's available in all of the countries that democratic societies out there that have governing bodies in place that for food inspection and that, I eat all those foods. Okay, so I want to make that clear. But I also don't wear rose-colored glasses. Okay, knowledge, training, and experience. I work on trust, love, and respect. But I also work on data and research, and I listen to those that have walked the path. So I don't wear rose-colored glasses. What I do know, and again, these are studies from medical podcasters that I follow that have the knowledge, have the training, that experience, and walk that path, and are medical professionals to boot, right? And in multiple different realms. And what they pointed out in a comparison, this was a 13,000 person study, okay? On that 13,000 person study, they differentiated meat diet lovers, eaters, to non-meat eaters, people that are vegetarian basically, and meat. They took those 13,000 people. What they found, and this is not the kicker here, I'm going to get you into the kicker here. What they found is that vegetarians had more concentration of fiber, vitamins, for certain cultures. Vitamins, I like when they say that, vitamin. So fiber, vitamins, A, B, C, E, more calcium, more magnesium, more riboflavins, more iron, more thiamine, more folate, more potassium, with sufficient protein. Okay, that whole thing about protein, they had tons of protein, sufficient protein, while eating less saturated fats and cholesterol. That's what they found. If you want to listen to that again, rewind it. That's what they found. Okay, but that's not even the kicker for me. Okay, also vegetarians ate on average 363 less calories per day. So forget all this, the extra vitamins and calcium and folates and potassium and magnesium, everything they had, all that stuff. And forget that they ate less saturated fat and less cholesterol, blah, blah, blah. But what struck me is that they ate on average 363 less calories per day, vegetarians did. Why? I know why. Moi, I know why. I live a nomad and a two-mad, right? 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day. That's what. But I also live a very, very nutrient-dense life. My plate, half my plate, every day, what I do consistently for a year and a half, nutrient-dense food are in my plate. I follow that to a T and I don't miss it. My fuel tank is full. When you understand nutrient dense, and the reason why they ate 363 less calories a day, because their plate, half of their plate had all nutrient dense for the most part, or all of their plates were nutrient dense foods. So when you eat nutrient dense, you have less cravings to eat more food, and you end up eating cleaner, because I taste process. I'm telling you, I taste process. So when your fuel tank is full, if you fill up your gas tank and you're heading home and you pass by 10 other gas stations, do you stop and eat? Or see it right there, stop and eat. Because that's that world. Do you stop and fuel up? No, you don't, because you're already full. But we can see. I used to leave my dinner table 15 minutes later after a massive meal, open the fridge and go in the pantry. I was doing that all the time, right? Even in my best fit days and et cetera, because I was that person. The average North American now eats 17 to 21 times a day. I was that person, which is the average North American, right? It's BS. If people that say that it's expensive to eat healthy. That is such BS. Living the lifestyle that I live and knowing what I know, knowledge, training, and experience here. Because if you ate healthy, you would eat less, better quality food. So it's not more expensive to eat healthy, because if you ate healthy, truly ate healthy, you would eat less. I actually save money when it comes to food. Like the 90% of the stuff in my pantry, doesn't even faze me, right? My family, boxes, and that kind of stuff. And my wife is very, very clean, but we have children and we have people that come over and that kind of stuff in life, and etc. So you tend to have your pantries full, ready for anything, right? Majority of that I wouldn't eat. It doesn't even faze me to look at them. It's like looking at this phone right now. I'm not interested in eating it. The same thing, I look at that. That's how I see it. I see it like, I look at food as fuel, and that's moi. And again, because I started eating like this, nutrient dense, I started eating less, better quality food. I'm actually saving money. So it's BS those that say it's more expensive to eat good food, right? If you should not even eat more than 3 to 4 max calorie windows a day. That's 17 to 21 times a day, putting something in your mouth, from a muffin to a protein bar to whatever, right? So let's get into this. Let's get into this for a second here. I eat clean, I eat healthy, and I eat real. If you look at the 3 things in here, and then you look at inflammation and inflammaging, okay? Inflammation combined with aging, just only a few years ago now, they've been really, really getting into this inflammaging. We are dying longer. We're not necessarily living longer, we're dying longer. So inflammaging is a huge thing that goes on here. One of the things they in there, hypertension, obesity, pre-diabetes, and diabetes. One of the big things that happens with these conditions, and one of the big things that's killing people in COVID, are these 3 conditions. There's multiple conditions I'm going to get into in a second here. And from this study here, I had written Adventist lifestylers, ancient culture. There's ancient cultures on this earth still to this day. and they're being studied all the time. And what they found with those Asian cultures, what kills them is the water, because they drink the river waters and that kind of stuff. And that's the number one killer on earth is unclean water, right? Bacterial water, etc., etc. But those cultures, what they found, they don't have any of our conditions. They don't have the Parkinson's, the Alzheimer's, the dementia, the heart attacks, and that kind of stuff. They don't have any of that. They die from other things. But we have clean water, right? We have access to clean water, etc. Imagine if we all lived like them. Real food, 3-calorie windows a day, etc., etc. All these conditions would disappear, then you would live 120 years strong. They know that. They know. If I look at the inflammation here, I'm gonna explain 2 seconds, just quickly. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, heart disease, osteosclerosis, age-related macular degeneration, which is your eye diseases, the multiple sclerosis, the increase in morbidity and mortality, right? Again, morbidity referring to the disease state, and then mortality, death. The acute lateral sclerosis, AMS. ALS, my mother died from that, the devil itself, man, the devil itself. So if, like these conditions here, insulin resistance, osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, cancer, these are all conditions, and there's more, that are linked to inflammaging. Why? 60% of the food we eat now is ultra processed, right? We have what, 40, 50, 60, depending on where you live in the world, of overweight or obesity, and they're predicting by 2050, like be an average of over 60%. That is crazy. That is crazy. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA 195, invest in you, invest in your children, and the rest will follow. Thank you.